spine. 3 angels watching me all the time. Put my children to sleep with a prayer, then close my eyes. Definition of peace. Tell me who gon' stop me. I come from love and still cover my heart. Then open me up. Remember when picked up a pen, lyrics that I can trust. Timid soul staring under rags and where I was from often. I know this type of power has don't cost, but I live in circadian rhythms of a shooting star. The mannerisms of Raphael.
Oh yeah, it's another one. Koopa time, Koopa rhyme. That is a little loud. I'm gonna turn that down. Guys, welcome to version 2.4. I'm pretty sure we're in 2.4. We're in the final stretches of 2. Whatever the fuck. And this time we're going to the mountains, the Draklon mountains. Basically this whole version, Anne Lucina is fully powered. She's the hero. She's amazing, right? Who cares? All the MacGuffins are MacGuffining, and we're gonna stop these guys from entering the True Demon Lord's palace like we saw in TDE last time. So we got our boy Claus here. We need to figure out how to get to basically the true FN and get the Pegasus for Anne Lucina. But you know, we can't make it there if we can't fly. So we need the Pegasus to get the Pegasus, essentially. And Claus is here to solve our problems. He's gonna take us to Draklon Mountains. And see if we can find ourselves some wings over there. So I hope you guys enjoy this quest. Today we'll be doing that, and he will be showing us what the flute does. Maybe we'll fight some dragons. Maybe we'll find some dragons. All of the above will happen. It'll be pretty fun. And don't worry, guys. We'll see more Claus in the future here. Not only in the end of version 2 that we're doing, but also in version 3 coming up. I know we're all very excited for that. That is one of my favorite versions. I feel like version 3 is when the story really, you know, kind of ramps up, kind of takes off into a direction where you want to see it go. As far as that goes, it's just the end of 2.4 really starts to get you like, okay, this is like, this is a good story. It's just all that build up. It feels like a lot of it was seemingly random. It'll come into play soon. It'll come into play soon. Everything truly does, you know? But anyways, what I'm going to be talking about today is some signs that you, my friend, are attracting your own dragon. You have your own dragon flute. We all have our own dragon flute. So, I'm sorry, I keep bringing the thing up and down like that. That's a little annoying. Whatever, man. Who really cares? Here we are at the Draklon Mountains. We're gonna be talking about signs of magnetism. And just, you know, signs that you are slowly becoming that guy or gal that is knocking off heads, that's turning necks, that's slashing hearts, all that good shit, right? So we all want to be the heartthrob, the one everybody wants. Sadly, that is almost never the case, and it's all in your head. But that's okay. You can leave it in your head. It just doesn't have to come out, and then you could just think you're the shit and just walk like you're the shit. And you know, let people think what they want to think. The problem is when the main character syndrome leaks out of the mouth, and then you look like a jackass. You know, if you really think you are that shit, don't talk as much. Don't necessarily involve yourself with the whims of the peasants, you know? If you truly are, and if you're not, and you can't do that, then you're probably not, you know? You're probably not that guy, that person, that girl, you know? If you can't separate yourself from the lost, unpurpose-driven, drevel, you know, the hive mind. If you can't separate yourself from that, you probably aren't the shit, first of all. And second of all, you need to take a step back and become the shit. So I don't know what my conclusions are always work on yourself, be alone, touch grass. But that is generally what my solutions come to. Let's talk less about the solutions and talk more about the indicators of progress here. So the first thing I'm going to say is when you aren't trying to impress people, when you just do shit, you know, like when you're just in it and you're like, I don't care what this person says about me, I'm just kind of here, I'm just kind of living life, and you're super in the moment. That, my friends, is very attractive. Very, very attractive. A lot of people will see traits like that and think that you've automatically got something figured out that they haven't. Even if it isn't necessarily true. Just because you're not trying to, you know, puff your chest out and be something crazy amazing. Even if you are already something crazy amazing. Just being humble. And not even going for that extra mile and being like, I gotta show them I am the best, or I have to tell them how great I am. You know, you just have that energy, that aura that's just like, I'm just being present. You know, I'm just kind of chilling here. I'm just trying to make sure I have fun, because, you know, when was the last time that happened, instead of me making sure everybody else is comfortable? When you unlock that mode of just being and not trying to impress people, it automatically turns you into that person, that thing, that entity. Oh, you can see we're glitching out a little bit here, so I think I do travel through a good neck of the dungeon with this little glitchy stuff going on. It looks weird, so we're gonna travel through a little bit of the extra area down here, just because I want to see how far the glitches go. Oh my gosh, it is really. Yeah, I love the graphics in this game, but more than that, I love to see the graphics in this game break so much. But now while we're marveling the the analytical, the Robo Draco zone, let me get into the second one here. So the first one was not trying to impress. The second one is that you've developed a sense of oneness. Now this is kind of what I got into a little bit earlier here. If you are not on your purpose, if you do not have the singularity, if you do not know what you were put on this earth to do, you know, you may not have that magnetism that you're looking for yet. But if you're on the path, if you know you're on the path, you know, it just takes some time to perfect the exact thing you want to do. And oftentimes, guys, you have one factor of that final thing. See, the world is so complicated nowadays that we have to be a sort of weird method of multifaceted, because there are a lot of different ways to make money, but combining multiple things, multiple side hustles for you know, whatever passions or love that you actually want to do, or perhaps combining the two, is truly the way to go. And it takes a lot of creative thought, it takes a lot of forethought, it takes a lot of methodology to truly figure out where you want to go. One thing that I watched a YouTube video about, and I think this guy has a pretty good grasp on sort of how to slowly make incremental progress. There's an invisible enemy over here. You can write down all of your bills, you know, all the things you have to pay for monthly, weekly, annually, whatever. And then you just write down a side hustle, anything that can make you money, anything that has a possibility to make you money, right next to it, you know. And so you'll have like a bill, a side hustle, and you can kind of compare those two. You can kind of like, oh, I have to pay for this, let me see what I'm doing with this side hustle. But writing in general is going to turn you into someone that people want to aspire to be like. Because writing and reading, I feel like, are two lost arts, and in a mere 10 years would be very unnecessary to do. At least paperback. I don't know. Maybe we'll be reading a lot of online articles on iPads, but paperback, people do not take time out of their day to flip through a book anymore. It's just very crazy. But that sense of oneness will lead you away from a lot of stuff that will drain your aura, have you lose respect, have people sort of distance themselves from you. And it's going to pull them closer to you because you're on your purpose. They see progress because you embody progress with your oneness, with your, you know, methodology of going up, with your all aligned towards one goal mentality. You know, you're going to feel your own progress, and they're going to feel your progress too. You don't even need to intellectualize it. They're going to feel it. Like, oh shit, that guy's somewhere else. He's somewhere different right now. I don't know where he is. But mentally, I feel that. I feel that. Like in my bones, in my soul, in my booty cheeks. I didn't say that. I did say that. What? Moving on. Number 3 is you become comfortable with silence. This is a little bit what I got into not too long ago. when I was talking about your sense of oneness. You know, when you have that sense of oneness, you don't need to talk about it. It's just there. And because of that, a lot of times you'll just become comfortable sitting in silence with someone. A lot of the times people talk about useless, boring, unimportant shit that I don't care about. And to appease them, you know what I used to do? I used to be like, oh yeah, let me go on this conversation with you. Let me take this little walk of you know, this little walk of thought with you. This little walk of thought comprehension. But, my fellows, my friends, and I don't mean to say this to be an asshole to everybody, but we have a limited amount of brain capacity we can use every day. And if you waste it on every feckless, you know, small talk conversation between a friend, a coworker at work, whatever you want to do, it's gonna take away from what you actually want to do. And once you figure out what you actually want to do, that's gonna hurt. Now, if you don't know what you want to do, I'd say these conversations are quite helpful, because how we understand ourselves in the world is through the lens of another. That's why the world is often dictated as a mirror and not a window. Correct, right? So while we're finding our purpose, while we're searching the world, of course we have to endeavor to converse with others. But you see, once you figure out what you want to do and you figure out the people around you don't care about what you want to do, and you don't want to talk about what you want to do because you figure out, you know, the people around you are going to actively detriment you and tell you, oh, this shit is stupid, dumb, will never earn you money, will never get you back, you know, whatever this bullshit is. Then you take the step of like, well, I guess I'll just shut up. I guess I'll just save my energy. I guess I'll just save my time. That is the most valuable currency, man. Truly, truly, truly. I know sometimes we feel trapped in our own bodies, in our own souls, you know, feel like we have less time than everyone else, and all these obligations are meant for us. But I'm just like, guys, social media can really, really blind you to what's important in life. And I'm talking about all of it. I'm talking about the YouTubes, the Twitches, the Instagrams, Snapchat, TikToks, all that shit. It just blinds you to how much time we really have. You motherfuckers spend 90 days. 90 days a minute. Okay, let me chill. 90 minutes a day on Tinder. And that's just one of these motherfucking apps. But like, that's crazy to me. 90 minutes a day? You know how much shit I can do in 90 minutes? Dude, you can make a whole AI generated video in 2 hours. An entire thing. Front to back, uploaded on YouTube. 2 hours. Storyline, editing, all that shit. And yo bitch ass can't get off the talk, the whatever it is. For 10 minutes, meditate, think about what you want to do with your life. Figure out your purpose. And I guarantee you it's monetizable. Nowadays, you put a camera on anything, it's monetizable. And guess what we all have in our hands? You know, I don't care what you want to do. Just do it every day and put a camera on yourself. I know it sucks. This is the grind. And we're not all entertaining people. We don't all want to be an entertainer. I know me, I love my privacy. I love not talking to anybody. And I despise the point when people actually want to talk to me. That sounds terrible. That sounds awful. And the only reason why I say that is because I've been there. I've been the guy that everybody wants to talk to. I've been the guy that people turn to when there's like, DeMarcus, where's the party? Every fucking weekend. And it's fucking annoying. And it's fucking stupid. And all the bitches you fuck from it are not worth it. They do not want anything to do with you after you're not in that mood. They want a simp with a bunch of money. Not you. You are cool party guy. After the party's done, guess where cool party guy goes? To hell. With all the other cool party guys. It doesn't last. It does not last. So be comfortable with the silence. You know, be comfortable with just sitting in the back. Chilling. You know, I've found that anybody that I can just sit in silence with for an elongated period of time, I definitely want to keep them in my life. I do. But they're the people that usually leave. They do. And you want to know why that is? You know why the silent people usually just fucking dip the fuck out? Usually never stay in your life. It's because a lot of life is not what you say. It's what you don't say. That's what a lot of life is. And when you don't talk to people, they make up their own stories about you. They still talk to you, just in their own head. And if someone is silent a lot around you, and then they just suddenly leave, you know, no trace, no base, no cocoa race, don't take it personally, guys. It is almost, I assure you, almost never personal. And if it is, it's because someone else got in their head and started gossiping to them about some other random dumb bullshit that you know, doesn't entirely affect them, which is, you know, kind of annoying. But it is what it is, you know? It's not that deep. You could get all vindictive and you could get all, oh, I'm gonna show this person a lesson, but that gets into our next one, number 4. Is when you stop chasing approval from others. Oh yeah, now this is really gonna make you the shit. This kind of goes into the not trying to impress, but this is different, you know? You cannot be trying to impress people, but this is like making people like you in general. Like I just want somebody to smile at me, kind of type shit, right? But we've evolved past that. Now we're at the area where it's like I have to actively think about not smiling to you because you don't deserve it. Because the thing is, when things don't meet my standards, this is what I used to do. I used to lower them. I used to lower my own standards when things didn't meet them and say, oh, but it's okay. They just suck. You know, they're just not as good as a person as me, or they're just learning their way, or no. People deserve grace, right? People deserve compassion, right? Of course. I'm not denying that. I'm not doubting that. But when you recognize that you are beautiful, enlightened, kind, enriching individual, and motherfuckers aren't giving that back to you, or even trying to give that back to you, or even attempting to, I don't know, acknowledge that you're on a different level, you know, they're just acting like, this guy is nothing, he's ass, I'm the best, even though I'm acting like a trash person. You don't have to take that. And this goes back into the silence. You don't need to crash out on them. You know, I'm not seeking approval from you, but I just have to act the way I want to act instead of acting in a way that I think is going to make you like me. Because the world is a mirror. If you really don't like the way someone's acting, don't, you know, this is just like the Americans in the hostage situation. Like, if you don't like the fact that he's got a hostage, don't give him money so you can get the hostage. If you give him money, he's gonna get more hostages. He's gonna, oh shit, they gave me money, let me find some more people to kill. You know, like, you know what I'm saying? So if you see someone acting up and you give them that grace and you're just like, I'm still gonna be nice to them, I'm still gonna turn the other cheek, I'm still gonna blah blah blah. I mean, of course it sounds good on paper, of course it's like that's what Jesus wanted you to do, but the real way to teach people is through your silence, through your actions, and through your mannerisms. And the thing is, we can't seek approval from these people because we're all going to die alone. I don't care if it's your brother, your sister, your mother, your coworker, your girlfriend, your wife. Don't seek approval from these people. Because if you are seeking approval from these people, you're changing your behaviors into something that is not different from yourself, and that's not sustainable. You can drive nature out with a pitchfork, baby. But that motherfucker is coming back every time. Every time. It always comes back. That's nature. That's life. And once you realize you can stop chasing approval and still get that same like love that you want, you're going to feel like an idiot. You're going to feel like the dummy doo-doo dumper. Because, guys, you know, life is easy or hard depending on what you decide, but we don't do what's normally easy or hard, we just do what's familiar. So you can decide, sure, you know, I'm gonna change my behavior for this person and it's gonna be great, and it can be easy or hard, but you know, if you do it long enough, it'll be familiar and you'll be able to change yourself. But do you really want that? People usually don't search for their own approval. which is very sad. I was one of those people. I'm like, I don't even know what I want anymore because I've chased everybody else for so long. And then what happens at the end of that? What happens at the end of chasing everybody else's approval? Everybody else leaves you because they don't even know what the fuck they're looking at. They're like, this guy has so many things in his body from everybody else. And they all wanted them to put it there. And then oh, thank you for putting this in your body. Here, okay, bye. Makes no sense. Makes zero sense. So if you're still seeking approval from others, I say yes, do that. But the first person you should seek approval from is yourself. And then the second person you should seek approval from is God. And then the third person you should seek approval from is your partner. And that's it. That's it. And if your partner doesn't like you and God's way, you might have to leave them. And guys, that is about all I have to say today. Tomorrow, I don't even know when we're going to upload this one, but with the next episode, we're going to talk about, probably going to talk about more magnetism, more of you being that person, that guy, that woman, that man, that thing. We'll talk about more of that. Well, we finish off Draklon Mountains. I love you guys, and I'll see ya next time.